Okay, hi, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalysting Company, where we try to be catalysts in each other's lives as well as catalysts in our own, and we hopefully become the artists we've always wanted to be. That is what I'm saying. That's my tagline now. Behind me are some canvases I just picked up from Michael's. I was so excited to go in today and see some canvases. Their shelves have been desperately empty. And online, there's not a lot available, and the shipping is so prohibitive at times that, I know I can't do it. I happen to like Michaels from Canvas. I know a lot of people poo-poo them, and, well, why don't you stretch your own? I do. Well, I physically can't do it. I can't build the stretchers, and I physically no longer have the strength to hold the canvas and with the little stretcher thing and do the stapling and everything. And I know that there's people who can do it for me, but the cost is really, really high. It's prohibitively, again, expensive. So I get Michael's canvases. I also like Blick because they're very similar in texture and in finish. I can get other canvases, but they usually have an oily finish, which I don't like. I don't like painting on that oil. I don't even know what that oil is on top of the gesso, but there's an oil applied, and a lot of companies carry it, and I don't like it. I like the dry gesso. So Michael's and Dick Blick's are my favorites, but the nearest Dick Blick, which carries, arguably possibly a better canvas. It's like a half step up or a step up. The closest one is in Tampa. That would be, I think, an hour and a half away. And on my little scooter, it could take me about a week to get there, and then I couldn't get anything back. Anyway, on my little scooter, can't ride the highway, not doing it to Tampa. You're welcome. So I was super happy today when I went into Michael's, and they actually had some canvases for a change on their shelves. I've been going in a lot over the past couple months and checking and watching the stock deplete and talking to some of the customer service people there and a couple of managers, and they weren't even sure if the company was going to stay around much longer because there was nothing coming in. Of course, it all has to do with the supply chain right now and being able to get different materials in and getting things shipped out of the country into the country or across the country. There's all kinds of issues going on right now. And what I want you to think about is there is an aluminum shortage amongst many, many things because of, companies not being able to get employees to do whatever and to ship and to make stuff, and, in manufacturing and in service industries everywhere. There's an employee shortage because people have gotten tired of being underpaid and abused on the job and, not being appreciated on any level, Amazoning themselves to death and not being able to go potty or be treated like a human being. People are tired of it and don't want to do it anymore. So, and COVID and all these other factors are playing in to shortages like aluminum. I know that I've had trouble getting cat food. I apparently have turned into the neighborhood cat lady, and I am now feeding a whole bunch of cats around here. They just come into my house because they've heard this is a lady who will feed them. And so when I try and get soft cat food, the ones that everybody agrees they like, it sometimes isn't on the shelf, and that's because there's an aluminum shortage as well as shipping problems, blah, blah, blah. But with the aluminum shortage, we're going to see other shortages as well. That's what I think anyway, are tins of mediums and paints, in tin cans or aluminum cans, and aluminum tubing, paint that comes in aluminum tubing. I can see a lot of issues coming down the line. Mineral spirits in aluminum, I buy big containers of it. So I want you to start thinking about this. How am I going to prep for the future? How am I going to, continue to work? But today we have some canvases. I may have a commission coming, So I bought two 20 by 24s for this one particular commission, plus it's one of the few sizes Michaels has left right now, has available. But I'm sitting here going, oh my God, thank God I finally have some canvases. I haven't had brand new canvases in months. Not in the gallery wrap, not in the sizes I like, which I still don't actually have, but I haven't been able to come close in months. And it's really snowballed into having an emotional and mental effect on me, to the point where I end up sitting in a chair just like staring at the wall with the lights off, because I have nothing to paint on. I have nothing to paint on. And while I'm waiting for, people to make decisions and put money down, and, for these projects that I'm supposed to be friggin' doing, I'm waiting for money to come in. I can't even afford just unstretched canvas. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. And that's like you, if you're in this situation, you're probably finding that it's making you freeze up and just not be able to function very well. So I'm looking at these two canvases, and I may need one for this tiny little project, but I'm not even sure at this point. It's been so long since I painted. I'm not sure that I really want to hang on to one canvas to only have one other canvas to work on for a maybe. There's too many other maybes. Maybe I will see the money come in tomorrow. Maybe I'll see the money that I was promised 4 months ago. Maybe it'll come in next week. Maybe. And we find ourselves in these situations as artists where we're like, how do I continue producing? How do I continue to run what I do? How do I make, continue this as a business if I don't have basic supplies? And we're not going to talk about the basic supplies, or I don't want to talk about the basic supplies today. In amongst all this, what if, maybe someday, oh God, I still can't get this. In amongst all that mess, that is creating a lot of turmoil and stasis, which we've been talking about a lot lately, I've been thinking about this channel, this YouTube channel, and all of my social media. And I really just kind of hate it. I really do hate it all at this point. All the people that are making money, they're running their art as a business, are making money because they're doing fun little dances on TikTok or presenting themselves as a cliche or a duplicate of what millions of other people are doing. And I'm burnt out on it. I'm not burnt out. I'm dismayed by it, and it's sad. When you really are strictly doing original work, and work that is of your own technique, like mine. It doesn't pair with anyone. It doesn't. It doesn't fit in a box well. You just get discouraged. You get really discouraged watching people who don't do a particularly great job and are just copying millions of other people, pull ahead and, look at me. I've now got studio filled with all the supplies I could ever want to need, and I'm going to continue to do work just like everybody else. I'm going to continue to pour and paint butterflies and throw glitter and paint and call myself an artist. It gets very discouraging, in those 30-second little clips of, look at me, I have glitter. I just, it makes me heartsick to see that. And I've had a lot of people that have tried to give me direction. You should do this. You should copy this person. You should copy that person. Literally, I get this all the time. You should, I won't quote anyone, but you should do work just like this guy because he's super popular on TikTok and Instagram. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do disingenuous work that I don't feel strongly about. And I'm not going to do work that is a direct copy of others. No, I am not going to copy Andy Warhol, even though that his whole entire career was made off of living off of other people's ideas. I'm not doing that. That's pathetic. It's friggin' pathetic to me. It's disingenuous. Yeah. And I've got my own style. I've got my own ideas, and I feel very strongly about what I do, so I'm not doing that. But I look at social media, and that's what we support. Our, half-naked, pretty young girls with a paintbrush in their hand doing a painting that 8 million other people have already done. They've got millions of followers, they're successful, they have money. It's not going to be me. So it's really been dragging me down for a very, very long time, looking at social media and seeing this. And so I actually told somebody yesterday, I was thinking about suspending this channel and just kind of making it a private channel just for me, but that would erase, 9 years now worth of comments and interactions. So it's something that I take very seriously, because there's a lot of people I've built up relationships with because of this channel. And I know there are people around the world who watch these silly little videos and feel connected in some way. So I haven't made a final decision yet, and it probably will take me a while, but like last week, I was stuck in here with no supplies, no canvases, no surfaces to work on, not having materials, not having anything move forward, which is, my thing is always moving forward, always having something to reach for, always on the, just future, working towards future. I have to feel that, or what's the point, So I did mention to somebody yesterday that I was going to suspend the channel, and I was thinking about it. She was like, no, don't. So we talked about it, and I haven't decided I'm going to. Last week I almost did. There were a few days where I almost did just suspend the channel, lose all the connections, and just screw it, because I'm burnt out on puppetry and glitter and girls dancing in dresses and and the you should paint like this guy who has 1.5 million viewers and is making money off his channel and doing work that 5,000 million trillion other people have done, but he's good looking and popular. So I burnt out on that, social media in general. But we're not going to I don't think I'm going to put the privacy on. I don't think I'm going to go to the extreme of shutting this down yet, because this has been 9 years of us being together. Some of you not so long, some of you that long, but it has literally been now 9 years. I think in a week or two it will have been 9 years exactly. So that's a long time for an artist to be exposing their life and their thoughts and their successes and their failures. That's a long time to have on record to just go, nope, done, boink. So we're not going to do that. But all of this is leading to another thought, another point that I wanted to make. Because in all this, and maybe, I don't know, and waiting, just like waiting for my ship to come in, the big ship, I'm thinking back, because when I first really committed myself and everything I am to producing art, instead of walking around going, I'm an artist, and I'm not really producing work and not really working as an artist or running my life as an actual artist, more of a hobbyist. Let me see, I made the decision, that's it, I'm going to be an artist. I think it was 11 years ago. It was 11 or 12 years ago. And what happened, and this was really incredible, I had injured myself on a job. I was working at a job, and I tore the tendons off of both elbows. I had carpal tunnel in both hands. My hands were completely useless. My arms were useless. I could barely go to the bathroom by myself, but had to because I was a single mom, and I had to get myself dressed. And I'll tell you, that was a mission. So I torn the tendons off my elbows. I had carpal tunnel in both hands. I had 4 surgeries on both arms, hands and arms. And the last surgeon I saw said, "You really need more work done, but there's nothing more we can do. There's way too much damage. So you're probably never going to be able to use your hands and arms again." And I went, "Really? Watch this." So, it's been a lot of years since then, a lot of serious physical therapy. The injuries led to RSD-CRPS, which is what I have, the illness that I talk about. And it, wasn't an easy ride. But because of those horrible injuries, we got a workers' comp settlement, and it was a pretty good chunk of money. It was more money. It would have taken me 3 years working full time at 2 jobs, pretty much 2 jobs, to make them the money that I was handed. And I remember when I was handed the check, I just stood there and stared at it, because I had been planning through all the injuries and the physical therapy and the surgery for this moment. I had been planning. Took this money, put it in the bank. First, I bought a used truck that I had been scoping out. I took that used truck, registered and everything, drove to the nearest Blick, and filled it with about $2,000 worth of art supplies, all these canvases. We had the back end of the truck completely packed. I cleaned them out, paint, everything. I just got everything I could start for the next step. Everything I could so I could get ready for the next step, which was building a portfolio. Then it was getting everything photographed. Then it was building a website. This is before you could do websites for free online. I had to learn how to run a website program. Then it was building that website. Then it was having a brochure made. Then it was going to New York, which is my ultimate goal always, going to New York and landing a gallery. And I had all these steps all laid out, and I did them like a friggin' train. Did all of it. The money didn't last long because, this was all very, 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 very expensive. But I was sure once I had the shows and I'd landed the gallery, it was clear sailing from there. We go to the next step in life. Well, that stuff didn't happen. The clear sailing didn't happen. It's been up and down and, up, down, up, down, up, down ever since. So when I'm sitting here on these days when I go, I don't have canvases, and I'm out of supplies, and I'm, like right now, 2 months behind on my rent, about to be 3. I go, why didn't I just take that check and put it in the bank? Because I'd be safe. Why was I so foolish that I didn't take that money and hoard it? Well, number one, I couldn't work because I was so badly damaged from the injuries at work. But number two, I've been thinking a lot about this. This is other conversations I've had with a couple of local people. As I sit here in my sadness and shame and frustration and just like, please, universe, this has got to change. And I feel so ashamed of not squirreled away this money and made it last as long as possible. I realize if I hadn't taken all those steps, if I hadn't set all these goals and just check down the line, I would have nothing to turn to today. I would be stuck, probably working again. I've had several jobs since then, by the way, since, my arms did recover for the most part. My hands did recover for the most part. I do have this illness, but I've had to get many jobs since because, you know, but if I hadn't made those steps, I would have no meaning in my life. I would have nothing. I would have nothing, no meaning. I would have no purpose. I would have no reason to be. I wouldn't ever have explored or created new ways to paint for myself. I never would have experienced all the wonderful experiences I have had. I wouldn't have the representation that I have. As frustrated as I get, I wouldn't have the representation I have. I wouldn't have the ability to put things on TeePublic. That never would have happened. I wouldn't have the opportunity to say, I'm here and this is what I do. I would be serving another person, a boss, and in the situation that we're all trying to avoid right now. Being underpaid, undervalued, belittled, humiliated, degraded. So I'm sitting here, so today, after having these conversations with friends, you know, I'm sitting here today and I have some fresh canvases and I really could cry. It makes, because just even seeing them, just touching them, just knowing that I can make something. I can make something out of them. Makes my soul soar. Not soar as in it's been beaten to death, but soar as in fly through the sky and beyond. Because I took those steps, because today I counted up the last of the money I have for God knows how long and bought these canvases, I can produce more of a future or something we can use in the future. I've had so many conversations lately about people who feel very similar to the way I feel, but it's always how are we going to move forward? But we couldn't have those conversations about moving forward, or I couldn't be involved in them if I had not taken that check and said, yep, I'm going to follow through on all my goals. I'm going to make this shit happen. And threw caution to the wind and gone. Someone said to me the other day that this is a positive message, and this is really what I want you to hear. Although at times it feels our own art is at odds with reality, sort of, or the business end of what we produce is at odds with our reality. Because we're producing art, we are creating a foundation for ourselves and our lives, and hopefully for our families or whoever as well. I have projections and things that I want to do with my artwork, so it's valuable not just to me, not just for the immediate, but for the future as well. So, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't even think in that direction before I'd taken that check and committed every dime, or almost every dime, to becoming the artist I always wanted to be. I didn't want to be the starving artist, or the artist that is 2-3 months behind on rent and terrified all the time. But I've built a little bit of a brand, and I've built products that no one else is able to create. And I have to believe that at some point in time, the world is going to catch up with me. The world is going to get done with the 8,000 million trillion people on TikTok going, look at, I'm throwing glitter on paint. Look at me, I'm a pretty girl in a dress twirling around and throwing paint in the air. I have to believe that at some point they're going to get tired of it And maybe we're going to go back to being human and wanting to experience actual artwork. I have to believe that the world is going to catch up with me. It's taken time in the past. I was the first girl in my school district to wear pants to school. That was a problem until it wasn't. I was the first girl to want to take woodworking in my school district. That was a problem. I wanted to learn how to work on cars, take mechanic class. That was a problem. I wanted to take, until it wasn't, I wanted to take drafting. That was a big deal when I was in high school. That was unthinkable. I was the first one. Now it's not unthinkable. I wanted to go to architectural school, which was just, oh no, girls don't do that. I didn't go to architectural school. By that point, I was a little tired of fighting the system, but regardless, it's not an issue anymore. So I have to, a lot of the things that I have never seen as an issue and wanted to do and gone ahead and done, or like, you know, tried battering the system about, they're no longer an issue. So I just have to wait for the world to catch up with me and get tired of social media and go back to being real and feeling real. So that's my diatribe today. But the other thing, too, in sitting and doing a lot of the thinking and staring at the wall is, remember I talked about the brochures in the last video? I showed you my brochure, I showed you the business card and the postcards I made and the little packet. A number of people have asked me where I got the envelopes. I got them on, ready? This is complicated, envelopes.com. Envelopes.com. I don't remember how much they cost, but the post office ships them, absolutely no problem, no extra charge. But I've given these out, these little packets out, to a number of people I know who deal in real estate, but deal in high-end real estate. I've sent some to my guy in New Jersey. I dropped some off with my gallery here in town because they've got people who are you know, are showing interest in my work. So, you know, it's tool by tool, and at this point, penny by penny, just continuing to move forward. I've sent these out to different people I talk to on social media. It's like the canvases. This is just one step that is going to help me get to my next goal, get to the next step that needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's it. So if you would like to help support Catalyst and Company or help support this little artist who literally has $10 left, because we did that, because we have to. My soul has to. My being has to. My purpose for being here needs me to buy them. If you'd like to help support that little flailing artist, all the links are down below, including Cash App, PayPal, TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work on t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, pillows, tote bags, phone cases. So TeePublic, what's the other one? Cash App, PayPal, TeePublic. Oh, and Patreon, where you can supply monthly support. And I realize the end of the month is coming, so that chunk of change is coming in soon. So all the links are down below. If you'd like to contact my galleries about work that may or may not be available, those links are down below as well, and you can view work on my website, becklaneartist.com. That's it. And somebody asked me, what do you mean when you say, ready, Carrie? Carrie is a pal of mine, not in the United States, who's been very, very kind and very supportive. So I say, ready, Carrie, so that he knows I'm thinking of him. There's a lot of people I think about every time I do these videos, or when I feel so discouraged that I can't make a video. There's a lot of people out there that I think of who have contacted me and written me and commented or messaged or emailed or whatever. But Carrie seems to be a friend that is a little bit more a loner. So I like to say hi to my friend Carrie and let him know that he's being thought of in my little corner of the world. All right, so let's all say, ready, Carrie? Ready? Ciao. Meow, meow, meow. Boink.